What's up guys, happy Sunday, what's left of it. Thanks for tuning in to my latest video, The Life of a Jobbing Plumber, sponsored by Power Tool Mate and Velocity Pro Gear. If you're in the market for some new power tools, make sure you check out Power Tool Mate because he does some great deals on prices. And obviously, if you're looking for a new kit bag, and not just one of mine, because Velocity make a massive range of kit bags, check them out. Link to both of those in the description. So this week's video, I've got one of them jobs where I went to the chap's house and he had a list of things for me to do. He pre-warned me on a few of the bits, like a new Nest thermostat and stuff, but there was quite a lot of stuff. There's some plumbing in there, some press fittings, the electrical stuff, fit a vanity unit, so all that in one job. But I was working away, and when I got there and I saw what I had to do under the kitchen sink, I went to get my pipe bender out of the van and I'd forgot, or I'd left my 15mm guide on a job somewhere, so I had to put a plea out on my Instagram for someone to lend me one, and Martin Train lent me that Monument 15mm pipe bender, so there's me using that for the first time. So not really got much to say really, except hope you enjoyed the video and thanks for all your support. If you don't already follow me, please drop me a follow, like the video if you like it, and yeah, here it is. Right, this job, the customer's just given me a list of what I've got to do here, and I reckon I've got enough jobs, and they're all different, to fill a whole YouTube episode. So, we're starting off, we've got a new outside tap to fit. That's one of those DIY kits that's going to come out, and a proper outside tap for it on. This is the waste from the kitchen sinks. It comes along here, goes through, it actually comes out the kitchen sink about here, comes this way, and then this way for some reason. It's on the inside, there's the kitchen sink waste, goes straight out there, but then you can see it there, that's where it goes along to the end and out and back along. So we can get rid of that and just go basically straight out. Then we've got the outside tap to do, which is behind the washing machine, but the stop tap's behind there as well, so they want a sure stop fitting. So I've got that to install, and then they also want the kitchen tap changing, so I've got this new tap to install. Then we've got a boiler in here, Ideal Logic Plus. This is the receiver, same as for this stat. They want that getting rid of, and a Nest going in, so I've got that to do, boiler service to do. I'm going to look upstairs. So in the bathroom, they want this going because there's a bit of a, someone's dropped something on it and they think it's cracked, but they want it swapping anyway, and they're going to have a vanity unit in there. So sinker pedestal's going to come out. Not sure the pipes probably go in this boxing, but we'll sort that out in a bit. And then this is the radiator. The chap's fitted his own tower radiator, which is that one. And he wants me to pipe up, so tee off these two, because this is a tiled floor, run along the skirting up, so I just have to do my best with that. I think that's it as far as the list goes. Anything else we'll add on to it. So washing machine out, this is the pipe work behind, so we've got a lead main there, there's the stop tap, and then we've got a T, and then another T, you can see just in the gap there that goes down. So I've got one cold going along beyond the unit, and then another cold going along beyond the unit. That's the feed to the cold tap, and then that's where they've teed off for the outside tap. And then they go up to the bathroom above. So the job I've got is I've got to fit that in after the stop tap, but before the T, which means there's only about, what, 2-inch of pipe. So, and also because I've got to change that, I'm just going to basically, yeah, redo all this pipe work. There's the hot and cold feed to the tap, and then there's a washing machine tap there, and they came through just in that gap between the sink top. So first thing I'm going to do is take the waste pipe out of the way, and then drill a hole through, core a hole through that hole there for my new waste pipe. So water's off, that's the lowest point, I should open that up. So I've labelled them cold and hot, cut them, labelled them cut them, labelled them, and then I've just bent the lead very carefully. Obviously that was looking straight up, down, so I can get the last bit of water out. And then what I'm going to do is sweat that tee off there, and I've got this piece of 15mm copper to put my shortstop on, and then we'll go off that. I probably will bend it straight back up, but I might bend it this way and have the stop tap this side, but I'm still thinking, obviously that's going to come out next. Sweat that off. Obviously a bit of solder to on another pipe. I've got these 15mm pipe cleaner, what do you call them, drill bits. Obviously the depth of that is enough for soldering a fitting on or pressing a fitting on, but still clean the rest of it with that just to make it acceptable. And then what I'll do is I'll probably cut this end with a pipe slice, ream it out, and then pop this on. So I've labelled those two up, clean them up, ready for fittings to go on. This, I've bent the lead so it sits a bit more in the corner, and that will go straight onto the cold. So we need to get a T in there to come this way to pick up tap and boiler supply. Right, so bent my lead back into the corner, got my shortstop fitted, got my first T in and pressed, and then I'm just putting the earth bomb back on. The electrician fitted that just here, and I've moved it to there. Hopefully that's okay. Obviously this part's plastic, so, and then all I do on my earths, because they leave quite a bit of spare cable on this and it was not very neat, so I've just twirled that around my, I've got copper, just to make that a bit of a neater job, so I'm just going to attach that now. Alright, so mounted my shortstop there on the wall where I want it. I'm just pulling this cable down. So the cold's pressed in. You can see I wrote the C on that one, I wrote a H on this one, but when I was cleaning it with the pipe cleaning tool, it started spinning round. I thought, fucking hell, I've disturbed a solder joint somewhere up in the boxing. But you can just, let's see if I can get the camera so you can see it. This is plastic, you can just see the bottom of it there. Plastic HEP sockets, it's spinning in that. So hopefully that's okay. And then the guy's just drilled a hole through the wall where he wants his new outside tap slightly higher. So I've got to run a bigger drill bit through that, and then that will come across here, pick that up, across here, pick the tap up, and then down there to pick the combi up. And I'm going to move that socket inside the cupboard as well. So they just push in, they're like push fit, speed fit connections, 1, 2, and then they go on the outside of there like that, and then literally this just pushes on. So that's that bit done. So the old tap's out. I'm just going to fit the new tap. Just a little tip, clean before you fit the new tap, because it makes a better job. Your customer will appreciate it, and it's hard to clean that after you've fitted the tap. Right, a little update. So the cold is in, the outside tap's connected, and then we come through into the cupboard, got the washing machine tap. The cold's connected to the new tap. So now I'm just going to do the hot, which is going to be above the cold there. I might have to just nibble a bit of that wood off. Right, so that is the hot and cold done, through, connected, tidied up. You know, they came at the bottom before, they now go straight up. Move that double socket, that's going to go inside the cupboard. So this is all on. So now what I'll do is show you the shortstop. So if I turn this on, that's now the water on, and we should be able to tap. That's the cold, that's the hot, and hopefully no water's going to come pissing down there where I disturbed that. plastic. Sounds good. That's just the toilet filling up, you can hear. Sure stop, taps off, click that on, off, on. You get the gist, it's like a light switch. So this that's just hanging is going. Basically we've got live and neutral and then the switching. So all I've got to do is fit my heat link, and we're going to use the live and neutral and then 2 and 3. So on the wiring diagram, low voltage combi boiler, 2 and 3 is our switch, and then obviously this unit needs a permanent live and neutral. So get that connected rather than just leave it hanging. This was just down there like that. I'll fix it to the side of this cupboard. The cupboard isn't removable. This piece is for servicing, but the cupboard doesn't actually move. So I'm just going to fix that to the cupboard. Hope that's okay. I don't think there's anywhere else really I can fit it. Maybe at the side there, but we'll see. Right, so that's that off. The hub is on the wall. So because this was a wireless stat and it wasn't hardwired, just talking to that, the same is going to happen with the Nest, and because we're not hardwiring it, we have to use the stand. So this plate that would go on the wall and be wired up has now got a plug in, which is just plugged into the wall at the minute, and then the Nest just pops on the front. I can do it with one hand, and that should come on now. There we go. And then we'll turn the power on for the boiler. Give our heat link, and now I've just got to connect that to that. So that's all connected, green light on, and then when I turn this on, you can hear the boiler fire up. Job done. Right, so moving on to this radiator, the customer's fitted this, he's put these valves on, they're no good because they need to come straight down. So luckily I've got some of those on the van, so I'll swap them. I've just been chatting to him about press fittings on show. I don't know what your opinion is on having these on show, but they work out quite well for this job. So if I cut this pipe here and tee this in, that with the M&F 45 is just about perfect for clip distance. So I can press that one in there, and then the next one over there, which will run just above it. He's going to paint the pipes in to the skateboard anyway, so we see them, but I've never really used press fittings on show, but I think these Conex fittings look similar to Yorkshire fittings, although saying that, the T's are massive. Take this out. The elbows and things are all right, they're quite small, but the T's are huge. But I've shown him that he's happy with that, so I'm going to do that, and that means I can just get these pressed on pretty quick. So I'm going to cut this pretty close to the floor, because even though this fitting will be almost touching the floor, I have got my angle jaw set, which means I can press it right on the deck. Okay, let's cut it again. This again, hopefully clean the paint off this. And then reverse it. Give another go. So that's that back on. Obviously clean this pipe as well, and then you can see if I turn that back, that's almost bob on for clip distance. Obviously we'll get the job done then and see what you think it looks like, but I think once that's painted it's not going to look too bad. So just put the new straight valve on, and then I've just offered this piece of copper into my clips, marked the centre of my bend, so I want it to bend up into that. It's also going to have to dogleg out a bit to get into there. But I've been working away this week and I forgot my pipe bender guide, 15mm. I've got my bender and my 22, but I've left it somewhere on a job, or Ben's got it, I don't know. So put an ask on my Instagram for someone to lend me a 15mm guide, and my mate Martin said, yeah, I can lend you one. And what he actually brought was this, which I've never used before, so I'm gonna have a go with it and see if I can pull a bend on it, because if you've not seen these, they come in 2 bits. Can't even get it out now. There we go. Comes in 2 pieces. Yeah, see how I get on. Well, that's my first 90. It took me a while to work out which way to put that on, but not too bad. I'll do the next bend, then we'll see if it fits. So let's go, not too bad. Looks all right. And more importantly, let's just offer it in. The chap downstairs coughing his guts up. Alright, so that's going to go in there, that's going to go in there. Let's rip this off. Put that in the clip. And then this should too bad. So get the next one cut, and then once I've done that, we'll start pressing. I'll try and show this with one hand. So the copper goes in and then sits against that. Then this comes in from this way, giving a pipe. Let's try and do it with one hand. Hooks onto there like that, and then basically you pull it. Let's see if we do it. Oh, fuck, I can't. God, this feels harder than a normal pipe bender. I'll do that with one hand easily on my other one. Anyway, you get the idea. Let me finish that off. You get your 90, and then this comes off. That's it. I guess the idea is this is smaller than your pipe bender, scissor bender, but it only does 15mm pipe. I don't find it any easier. So my press gun, I'll have no problem getting to the top one, and to this one here, and this one here, but the gun won't get me low enough because of the profile of the gun to press that O-ring there. Can you see it's so close to the floor? So that's when we need the angle jaw set. Pop my V15mm jaw out. This collar. So that fits over the O-ring, and then my angle jaw adapter into the press gun, and then this attaches like that. So my gun's on the angle, and then just press it as normal. And that's that one pressed. That's that done. Let me know what you think in the comments. I don't think it looks too bad. Now it's time to strip this out. So this just had a bit of silicone on the top, a bit of tile adhesive and a couple of screws. And then they've glued the pedestal to the boxing in. I managed to take the side panel off. So first I'm going to cut through the copper pipe, disconnect the trap, just so I can get this out of the way. So spacing out, copper pipe's cut, waste disconnected, and then just a few screws to get out to get that. Looks like they've tiled around the pedestal, but that's going to be inside our vanity units. It shouldn't be too much of a problem. So that's pedestal out. I've offered the new vanity unit up, and that's where it comes to. So cut that with a multi-tool, and then I'm just going to ping this tile off, and the customer's going to sort that afterwards. So I've cut the skirting board from the back and the skirting board there so that the vanity unit will go flush to the wall. Took the old waste pipe out, extended the copper tails up to where I need them to come through, and then cut a bit out of the back of the unit to go around these pipes, and I'm going to offer that in. So that's the vanity unit in and fixed. Service valves on, waste pipe. Unfortunately, there's a little bit where the old pedestal was, but the guy's going to sort that out. So I'm going to put the sink top on now. That's it done. Bit of patching up there to do, and the floor. But yeah, don't look too bad. That's probably a bit harsh on these, because I've only pulled 3 bends with them, so I can't really give you an opinion. But yeah, obviously the more you use something, the better you get at using them. So they might be all right, but I'm not going to be chopping in my scissor bender for them just yet. Just thought it was worth mentioning about that shore stop. So I didn't know I was going to be fitting that until I got there. The customer had supplied that. I'm not a massive fan of them. I think they reduce the flow rate, and I've seen a lot of them fail and leak. But saying that, if you've got an elderly customer and they're not confident or can't turn the water off, then that switch is a bit of a lifesaver sometimes. And like in that situation, taking the washing machine out every time you need to turn the water off, that property is going to be rented out. So I guess in certain situations it's fine, but I'm not the biggest fan of them. Right guys and girls, Unilight have got a sale on this weekend, so I thought I'd show you these. These are all my lights. Some of them I use a lot, like these Hexagon sight lights. These are metal, really powerful, really good, use them all the time. This one's good, it's powerful. It's also a speaker, you can play your music through it on Bluetooth, but I don't use that very often because I've got a radio. So just being honest with you, I don't use the music feature on that. Same as these ones. This one I use all the time, sometimes on the tripod, sometimes just as like a stand like that. But this version, which has got the speaker on, I don't use the speaker on that either. And then my favourite one is this one, which has got like a magnetic base, so you can just swivel it to aim the torch wherever you want to aim it. There's the power button, so it's got a torch at the end and then from the side. That's great for working in boilers. And then they've got these 3 sizes. So this one's same, it's got a torch at the end, the big face there, and then the internal face there with the magnetic base, so you can stick that on your boiler and angle it anyway. And that comes in this size, which is a bit smaller than a Sharpie pen, the next size up, and then this big beast, which is metal, really powerful, this one. And that is that. They also do some accessories, so if you want to buy like the tripod, they do some tape measures, which for a torch company are surprisingly good. The quality on that's pretty good. So accessories as well. And then the new one, which I've just put on my page last week, is this sight lantern, which is really powerful. I'll turn it on. That's on its lowest setting. There's 2 more brightnesses. You can also do it half, so full and half, 180, 360. all the models, codes for these are on the website, but this weekend there's 25% off everything. But if you use my code, which is fright5, I'll leave it in the description, you get 30% off anything on the site. After this weekend, when the sale's done, just use PB25 and you'll get 25% off everything. I hope that helps. If you've got any questions about any of these, if you want to know run times and stuff, it's all on the website, like how many hours you get at full, at medium, at low, stuff like that. This one you can use on its battery, or also you can use it plugged in. It's made of nylon, it's really tough. It's got a hook, you can screw it to a tripod as well. So yeah, just thought I'd share that with you. Just doing a boiler service on this Dimplex, never seen one before. Pretty standard setup, Genoni heat exchanger combi. So I can show you the display. You might have these where you live, they might be common, but this is the only one of these I've seen. So yeah, just thought I'd show you. Took the burner out. I've got this orange stain here, so I think what's happened here is the boiler, at some point the condense has either frozen or backed up, and then you can see it's left a water stain on there. But it's just interesting, you can see this is the flame sensing electrode, and when the water has got high enough to hit that, it's cut the boiler out. So it's not, the water's not backed up any further because the boiler's cut out. I just thought that was interesting. So yeah, I'm just going to service this. It's not too bad, just needs a good clean out. This is the condense here, just pushes on, so I'll give that a good clean out. Check the expansion vessel, you know what we do on a service. But yeah, I just thought I'd show you that. I thought that was interesting. So a little tip for you, because this will happen to you quite a bit, especially when tenants fill up cupboards with stuff. I've just dropped the screw for the front cover there. It's gone down there somewhere, or it's in the box or something, but rather than waste time emptying that and finding it, I've got a screw box. So whenever I take a boiler out, let's say I was getting rid of this boiler and fit a new one, I would keep some of the screws that I think would be useful. So then I've got in here all different kinds of screws for boilers and a few different ones as well. So that is the type of screw that I need, that I dropped, so I don't drop it again. There we go. So yeah, a little tip, save some screws when you decommission old boilers before you chuck them, because you never know when they might get you out of the shit.